Hello everyone and welcome to the Battle for Azeroth beta. I'm doing some questing on Azeroth of course, but on the new continent of Kul Tiras on the bottom right hand side called the Tiragarde Sound. This is the section that I'll be questing in. So of course we have Drustvar and we have the Stormsong Valley, but this place seems kind of interesting. But honestly, I've been in all three of these areas already, just kind of exploring, and so far they all look really identical to this point, which kind of weird. You know, I was hoping there'd be some variety between, because if you compare it to the Horde area, they have 3 different areas and all 3 of them are completely different, which is great because, you know, it gives you something refreshing, you know, a good sense of pace into different places. But hopefully it's not too bad here. I haven't done too much questing on the Alliance side, just mainly because I mostly play Horde, but of course have to try out the Alliance and see what kind of quests they have to offer as well. And I'm also playing on a class that I don't really play, which is a monk, a Windwalker monk here, so I'm not 100% familiar with the rotation and the abilities and such. I know a little bit, so I'm just kind of practicing it out, trying to see how fun it is. See, maybe I'll reroll a monk for the next expansion. Of course, so here's our first few quests here. We have to kill some workers, some guards. Now we have to free some workers, that's what I meant. We have to kill some guards, free some workers, and inspect some of these marked goods. Now the whole thing that started this quest chain back in the capital city, forgot what it was called, like Tradewind City? You know, kind of reminds me of that old Tradewinds game on PC if you ever played that. But anyways, that's not relating to this at all, but the main quest started when we're at the city and the guy had this musket, right? He had this gun with this gunpowder. He shot it. It was like super powerful, you know, nothing like he's ever seen before. So he's intrigued. He's like, okay, yeah, we need to find out what exactly this is. So that's where we come in, right? We get some quests. They send us out here to kind of check around, see where they're getting this gunpowder or their guns. You know, what is causing it to be so powerful? I should have probably put that clip in this video, would have been helpful, but anyways. So as you can see, the workers are all children. We got the quest from a child, mainly because they have concerns about these other kids basically doing this slave labor here for this company. You know, they have some pretty bad morals. These kids are just dragging around this cart that's chained to their back. And these guys are pretty bad. But anyways, in terms of the class, I noticed their mastery is the abilities deal more damage when you use a different one back to back, you know, instead of, you know, spamming the same ability each time. If you differentiate between the various abilities, it'll give it a 30% buff. And I love this Earth, Fire, Wind, I think that is called, but it's pretty cool. You see the mirror reflections. They do exactly what you do. They jump with you, they move with you, they do your abilities. That's really cool. I'm a real big fan of that ability. One good reason to play monk, by the way. There's also this small treasure chest, which you should not ignore because you can get a pretty powerful upgrade there. And also gives you some artifact power, you know, some Azerite power, which again improves your item slot that you got from the Heart of Azeroth. Like the chest piece, you'll see in a little bit what exactly I'm talking about if you're unsure. But here's a clip of some AoE damage. Of course, I had to film how this AoE goes like, and it works out pretty well. You have the Fist of Fury, of course. You have this other ability you can only use when Fist of Fury and Blackout Kick is on cooldown. And it provides a nice little boost. And I do have to say I enjoy playing Monk, Windwalker Monk. But I feel like there's just maybe one thing missing. I don't know, I've never really played Monk before, but it seems like there's an ability or so that's missing. And it's not just with this class, it's actually with all the classes I've played so far. They feel kind of empty, you know? It's like this strange feeling. I think it's just because we don't have the artifact weapons anymore. Maybe that's why. But anyways, after completing those quests, we're about to turn it in here at 24% of the way through the experience bar. And this is what I was talking about right here for the item. I'm going to show you in just a second after I complete these quests, which by the way do not give you too much experience. Kind of seems like a very slow pace kind of deal going on here. Hopefully it's not as bad as it seems. Anyways, let me equip that real quick. And here's the item I was talking about, how one of the items that you choose as a quest reward will have these talent trees here that give you some passive abilities. which of course they're all relating to your class with specific abilities that you have. And then it has some general ones that are offered through all the classes, so anyone can have those, of course. But after completing those quests, you can see I didn't gain that much experience. I think I was at like 40%. So those like 4 or 5 quests gave me like 13-14% experience. So that's kind of slow. But anyways, I'm with this guy and we're kind of sneaking on this boat. Had to hide in a barrel full of fish, and he's in a barrel full of ale, so good for him, right? It's gonna be a long journey to wherever we're going, and of course it ends up in a shipwreck, as you can see here. Went from kind of the top all the way down to the bottom in the Wailing Tideway. Things don't look too good, as you see. I had to say at least more than half of the crew is dead, as they've drowned out already. The boat is split in half, and the other people are yet to be found, which is crazy, as how was I the only one to survive and not get into any of this mess? Seems very scripted, which of course is a quest, it's a game. So why am I even complaining about that? Anyways, we have Beachcomber Bob. He just sees me floating around, and I make to this castaway point here. Actually a very cool place, you know. You have the humans, you have some Zandalari trolls who are friendly, which is pretty cool. I guess it's not the Alliance and the Horde, right? They're not back to where we're from, where there's a deep hatred between the two factions here. Just like, yo, that's a Zandalari troll, I'm a human, who cares, right? We even got some Pandaren. We have some goblins out here. I'm not sure how they ended up over here, but they're here, right? How do you go from Pandaria all the way to over here? I don't know, I must have missed some important backstory or something. So we're collecting some quests, talking to people, seeing what they lost, so we can collect that on our journey in this quest here. And one of the quests involves us killing these ferocious beasts that have been featured in one of my past videos of some new beasts you can tame as a hunter, because they look pretty cool, right? Well, I'm pretty sure you can see like almost every hunter trying to get this pet, and it's gonna kind of die out as a cool thing, which happens because when there's something new, everybody wants that, right? And of course after that happens, it's not so cool anymore, just because it's everywhere, it's ubiquitous, right? Anyways, we also have this other quest where we're killing these Wailing Sirens, which are these weird banshee spirit looking things, you know. They look crazy. They look kind of like a dragon hawk. I thought they were dragons. I was like, wait, it's like a harpy banshee looking thing, right? So we found this silver compass. Also ended up finding the steel lunchbox and this tin robot, of course. And then back here fighting some more of these because they have charms like half of the sailors that were missing from the boats. And with the other things I forgot to mention, you know, the beasts, we're supposed to collect 5 of their tails, and it's one of those quests where they do not drop it every time. It's actually a very low drop chance, which is beyond annoying, because you're like, I can see the tail, and if it's not going to drop every time, at least every other time, because when you're killing like 10 of them and only one of them drops, that becomes kind of an issue. You're just like, okay, this is kind of an unnecessary waste of time at this point, right? Anyways, so now we're fighting these guys, you know, just larger banshee looking things, of course. And the fight's going on pretty good. Have some assistance from this lady. Not sure where she's from. I forgot who she is. Maybe she's one of the person that gave me a quest. Why would she give me a quest and then walk all the way over here to do it with me? I don't know. So we complete those quests. We get another like 15 experience. And then we have to save Flynn here, who we saved from one of those spirit banshee looking things. And he was charmed, but fortunately, we broke the charm. But he's still a little out of place. But anyways, that's going to be all for this video today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a future video.